10 reasons why Asians practice duck walks every day, and you should too. While Westerners over 70 or 80 years old can barely stand up from a chair without help, elderly Asians squat deeply, sit on the floor with ease, and walk for hours without getting tired. It's not genetics. It's a specific movement they practice since childhood and maintain throughout their lives, the duck walk. This exercise, used in martial arts and Asian military training, builds ankle mobility, quadriceps strength, and knee stability that most Westerners have completely lost. That's why Asians can do perfect deep squats while you probably can't even come close. Before we start, please tell us through the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. Reason number 1, absurd quadriceps strength. The duck walk keeps your quadriceps under constant tension throughout the entire movement. Unlike traditional squats that have rest phases at the top, in the duck walk, your quads never rest. The low position places the quadriceps in their most stretched range, and research shows that exercises in stretched range generate more muscle hypertrophy. Each step requires you to push your entire body weight forward without being able to use momentum, creating brutal metabolic burn that stimulates muscle growth and endurance. The vastus medialis obliques, that teardrop-shaped muscle near the knee that many people struggle to develop, is especially activated in this exercise. Martial arts fighters use duck walk exactly for this reason. They develop legs that never tire. The isometric strength developed is transferable to practically all sports, from soccer to running. Over time, you develop an ability to generate force at any angle of knee flexion, not just at comfortable angles. This means your legs become genuinely strong, not just strong within a specific machine. The burn you feel isn't just lactic acid, it's metabolic adaptation happening in real time. Your muscles are learning to function with less oxygen, creating more mitochondria and improving energy efficiency. It's literally altitude training, but for your legs. Reason number 2, brutal metabolic conditioning. The duck walk is one of the most metabolically demanding exercises that exists. The constant tension in the muscles partially cuts off blood circulation, creating vascular occlusion and a hypoxic environment in the tissues. This forces deep metabolic adaptations. Your body creates more mitochondria, improves energy efficiency, and develops resistance to extreme fatigue. The brutal burn you feel is lactate accumulation and hydrogen ions, and that's not bad. This metabolic environment stimulates growth hormone release, creating systemic anabolic effect. Just 30 to 60 seconds of duck walk dramatically elevates your heart rate, combining cardio and strength simultaneously with minimal concurrent effect. The caloric expenditure is significant because large muscle groups are working intensely under load. Practitioners develop a cardiovascular engine that never tires. This transfers to everything: climbing stairs without getting breathless, endurance in sports, consistent daily energy. The conditioning is specific and brutal. Your muscles learn to function in extreme fatigue when others would give up. What many people don't know is that this type of metabolic training improves not only muscular endurance, but also the body's capacity to remove metabolic byproducts. You literally train your cellular cleaning systems to work faster and more efficiently. Reason number 3, extreme ankle mobility. The duck walk forces your ankles to work in maximum dorsiflexion while you carry all your body weight. This deeply stretches the calf muscles, especially the gastrocnemius and soleus, which become chronically shortened by years of wearing heeled shoes and long hours sitting. Stiff ankles are the #1 cause of poor squats, knee pain, and falls in the elderly. By doing duck walk regularly, you rebuild range of motion you've lost since childhood. The constant pressure in the deep dorsiflexion position creates permanent adaptations in soft tissues, fascia, tendons, and joint capsule. Regular practitioners can squat deeply without lifting their heels off the ground, which is a sign of truly functional ankles. This transfers to all real-life movements: climbing stairs without compensating with your knees, getting up from the floor with perfect mechanics, picking up low objects without rounding your lower back. A common mistake is thinking that stiff ankles are genetic or permanent. Actually, they're the result of years of neglect and can be reversed with consistent work. Many Olympic weightlifters use shoes with elevated heels precisely because they have limited ankle mobility. With regular duck walk, you can eventually squat deeply in flat sneakers, which indicates real mobility. Reason number 4, Deep hip mobility. The duck walk forces your hips to operate in extreme flexion, with the knee practically touching the chest. This stretches the hip joint capsule, the iliopsoas, the rectus femoris, and all hip flexors. Stiff hips are a modern epidemic. We sit 10 or more hours per day, and this progressively shortens all the musculature at the front of the hip. Locked hips cause compensation in the lower back region, resulting in chronic pain, and in the knees, leading to injuries. Duck walk rebuilds lost range of motion through loaded active mobilization, which is infinitely superior to static stretching. Unlike simply sitting and stretching, here you're strengthening the muscles while stretching them. Hip rotation is also worked as you alternate legs in movement. Regular practitioners recover the ability to do perfect deep squats, with hips below the knees. This transfers to lifting heavy objects from the floor without lower back pain, playing with children on the floor without discomfort, sitting in Asian style, comfortably. Mobile hips mean protected spine. You're building hips that actually function under load, in movement, in real life. It's common for people to report that chronic lower back pains simply disappear after incorporating this exercise. Reason number 5, intense glute and posterior chain activation. Although it seems primarily a quadriceps exercise, the duck walk destroys your glutes and hamstrings. The deep squatting position places your glutes in maximum stretch tension, and remember that the gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the human body. Each step forward requires powerful hip extension, intensely recruiting the gluteus maximus. The hamstring muscles work eccentrically, lengthening under tension to control the movement, which creates muscle microtrauma that stimulates growth. The low position also activates the gluteus medius, crucial lateral hip stabilizer for balance and injury prevention. Strong glutes prevent lower back pain, improve posture, and increase speed and power in any sport. Your glutes learn to work in perfect coordination with the rest of the posterior chain, not in isolation. The deep hip flexion angle is rarely trained in conventional gyms. Most glute exercises work in partial ranges. Here, you're forcing maximum activation at the most challenging angle. The result is glutes that actually function in real life, not just in the gym. A well-developed glute isn't just a matter of appearance, it's pure functionality. It stabilizes your pelvis, protects your lower back, and generates power in practically every human movement. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with long-term health in the bodybuilding world. Reason number 6, knee health and resilience. Contrary to popular belief, duck walk strengthens the knees when done correctly. Deep knee flexion beyond 90 degrees activates all joint stabilizers. Ligaments, tendons, and joint capsule are progressively stressed, adapting, and becoming stronger. The controlled movement feeds the articular cartilage with synovial fluid through rhythmic compression and decompression. Knees were biologically designed for complete flexion, and it's not using this range that progressively weakens them. Duck walk rebuilds tolerance to deep movement safely and progressively. Strengthening the vastus medialis obliques is critical. This muscle pulls the patella medially, preventing incorrect tracking that causes pain and irregular wear. A patella that slides correctly means absence of pain and joint longevity. The stability developed prevents serious injuries of the anterior cruciate ligament, meniscus, and patellar tendinitis. A common mistake is thinking that painful knees should be spared from deep flexion. Actually, lack of movement in complete range is frequently the cause of pain, not the solution. Obviously, if there's acute injury, consult a professional. But for most people with chronic discomfort, rebuilding deep movement capacity is therapeutic. Reason number 7, injury prevention and rehabilitation. Duck walk is widely used by physical therapists to rehabilitate ankles, knees, and hips. The closed kinetic chain movement, with the foot fixed on the ground, is biomechanically safer than open chain exercises. The controlled range allows rebuilding tolerance to movement without overloading injured tissues. For knees with patellofemoral pain, it strengthens surrounding musculature without impact, feeds cartilage, and frequently reduces pain. For stiff hips or those with impingement, it restores lost range and strengthens deep stabilizers. Progression is easily modulated. You can reduce range, decrease speed, or do fewer repetitions. Once rehabilitated, continuing duck walk maintains resilience and prevents re-injury. Professional athletes use it as preventive preparation, the so-called prehab. The movement exposes asymmetries and weaknesses before they transform into serious injuries. It's simultaneously assessment and treatment. It's not just strengthening isolated muscles, it's retraining movement patterns. Your nervous system learns to control the joint in all positions, not just comfortable ones. This is real injury prevention, not just superficial strengthening. Reason number 8, enhanced proprioception and balance. Duck walk requires advanced neuromuscular coordination. You're squatting, moving dynamically, and balancing weight on deeply flexed ankles. Your nervous system needs to integrate information from multiple sensors simultaneously: vision, vestibular system of the inner ear, and proprioceptors in the feet, ankles, and knees. This creates new neural pathways that improve general body control. The unstable support base constantly challenges your balance. Each step is a micro-test of dynamic stability. Small stabilizer muscles that conventional gym doesn't train are forced to work intensely. With consistent practice, your brain learns to predict and correct imbalances before they happen. This prevents falls, the main cause of death in the elderly, drastically improves athletic performance, and increases confidence in complex movements. The developed proprioception transfers to absolutely everything: running on uneven terrain, jumping, changing direction quickly, reacting to pushes. I've observed that regular practitioners develop a fluid and controlled movement quality that people who only train with machines lack. They move like athletes, even if they aren't. The developed balance is dynamic, not static. It's not just standing on one leg, it's controlling the body in unpredictable movement. This is real functionality. Reason number 9, mental strength and discipline. The duck walk is brutally uncomfortable. Intense muscle burn, trembling, overwhelming urge to stop every second. Doing this regularly builds psychological tolerance to discomfort, an increasingly rare ability. You learn to distinguish discomfort, which is safe and productive, from pain, which signals injury. This ability transfers to all of life: difficult work, uncomfortable conversations, stressful situations. The mind gives up before the body in practically everything, and duck walk proves this viscerally. When you endure 10 more seconds beyond the point where you wanted to stop, you're building real mental resilience. Practitioners develop positive internal dialogue and breathing techniques to manage intense discomfort. It's meditation in movement, total focus on the present. Impossible to think about other things when your legs are on fire. The discipline of doing something you hate but know is beneficial develops character. Military personnel and elite athletes incorporate brutal exercises exactly for this reason. The mental fortitude you build is universally applicable. You become someone who doesn't give up easily. When others stop at the first sign of difficulty, you continue. This is worth more than any physical benefit. The discomfort of duck walk is predictable and controllable, making it a perfect environment to train resilience. Unlike life, where challenges appear unexpectedly, here you choose to face them. It's deliberate emotional training. Each session is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you're stronger than you think. Reason number 10, transfer to real life and sports. Duck walk isn't an isolated gym exercise. It's a fundamental human movement pattern. The strength and mobility developed transfer directly to deep barbell squats in the gym. You can pick up heavy objects from the floor with perfect mechanics, protecting the lower back. Playing with children on the floor becomes natural. Sitting, standing, moving in low position without effort. For sports, the benefits are immense. Explosion in sprints comes from quadriceps strength. Direction changes depend on joint stability. Vertical jumps improve with leg power. Fighters dominate opponents by maintaining a low and stable base impossible to knock down. Surfers and skateboarders develop superior balance that allows advanced maneuvers. Runners build resilient ankles that absorb impact without injuries. Ankle mobility transfers directly to perfect Olympic squat in weightlifting. Skiers maintain squatting position for entire descents without fatigue. Duck walk trains your body to move as it was biologically designed: deep, controlled, functional. It's not physical capacity that only works inside the gym, it's real ability for real life. You develop what I call physical competence, capacity to do what you want with your body, when you want. Climbing mountains, playing soccer with friends, carrying groceries, renovating the house. Everything becomes easier when you have true physical capacity, not just developed muscles. How to execute correctly and main mistakes to avoid. To execute the duck walk correctly, start by standing with feet shoulder-width apart. Squat to the lowest position possible, keeping heels firmly planted on the ground. If your heels lift, hold on to something for balance or reduce depth initially. Your arms can be extended forward for balance or at the sides of your body. In this squatting position, take a step forward with your right foot, keeping your hips low, then your left foot. Continue walking forward without raising your hips. The secret is maintaining constant height throughout the entire movement. As for time or distance, beginners should start with just 30 to 50 feet or 20 to 30 seconds. This may seem like little, but it will be extremely challenging. Do 2 to 3 sets initially, resting 1 to 2 minutes between them. As you progress, increase to 30 to 60 seconds or longer distances. The main mistakes to avoid are raising your hips during the movement, which removes all tension from the muscles, lifting your heels off the ground, indicating lack of ankle mobility that needs to be worked progressively, and using excessive speed. The movement should be controlled to maximize benefits and minimize risks. Another mistake is not warming up adequately. Do some stationary deep squats before starting to walk. Some extra tips include starting by holding onto something for balance if necessary. Looking slightly upward helps maintain an upright torso. Keeping the core contracted protects the lower back during the movement. For progression, first increase time or distance before adding external load. Then you can hold a dumbbell or weight plate at your chest to increase difficulty. Regarding contraindications, people with acute knee injuries should avoid until recovery. Individuals with severe hip pain need to consult a professional before. If you have advanced arthritis, start with very reduced range and progress slowly. If you enjoyed this and want to discover another exercise widely practiced in Asian communities to heal years of neglecting your own body, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen showing each of them better. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.